Yeah, so the highlights. It's been a big year for Nanoco. We received our first commercial orders for the display industry. Manufacturing capacity has dramatically increased, or our ability to produce up to 10x, and correspondingly taking the cost out of the materials. Very important. The pipeline has continued to expand, and over the year, we've taken significant cost out of the business, where we're now running at roughly 700,000 pounds operational cash per month. Well, if you remember a year and a half ago, it was only April 2016 when we moved Dow from exclusive to non-exclusive and adopted this new multi-channel approach. And what we found, so we've been working directly with the display industry, predominantly in China, Taiwan, Japan. And what we found is it takes roughly a year from initial engagement and specification agreement through to mass production. And that process of that 1 year process of getting your Nanoco's technology, our quantum dot technology, accepted, evaluated, and technically approved is time consuming. The majority of the time is taken in the many iterative steps we and the OEM take to optimize the TV. And that's us adjusting the red and green quantum dots to match the color filters so the viewing experience is as positive as possible. And that process, unfortunately, just takes time. We were new to that process because we had been relying on Dow selling. We were new to it in April last year. We've learned a lot. We now understand it very well. And I'm pleased to say that the pipeline is expanded. The number of projects we're working on is significant. We're very focused on the projects that are going to bring near-term revenue. The first major customer to announce and show commercial product with us is AUO out of Taiwan, and we have a number of television and monitor programs active with them today, and there are a number of other companies following suit. Yeah, both Dow and Merck are making progress. Dow is further ahead than Merck because they've been at it for longer. What we're seeing is that royalties quarter on quarter, albeit from a low start, are increasing dramatically. So we're starting to see an uptick. And we, maybe more importantly, is we see Dow very active in the market. So they're working in the same markets that we're working, with the addition of Korea and a heavy focus on Korea. Dow actively promoting cadmium-free quantum dot technology to the OEMs and working hard to gain traction. And we know that they've gained some traction, have some design wins with their film partners in the display space. Merck, we've successfully transferred the technology to Merck. They are running materials in Darmstadt, in Germany, successfully. So that process is done. They're now still working on figuring out where their manufacturing facility will be. In the meantime, we continue to supply them with quantum dots and quantum dots in resin, which they then pass on or sell to their film coating partners, which are predominantly large Japanese coaters. Our best estimate, and we don't control this, Dan, but our best estimate is Q1 18, and that will probably be high-end monitors for gaming, and coming through customers like AUO. And AUO had a tremendous display at Touch Taiwan in late September, which is one of the leading Asian display shows, where they had many tens of panels, large TVs from 65-inch up to 85-inch TVs, all enabled and equipped with Nanoco quantum dots. So really exciting to see the transition from standard LCD TV to QD-enabled TV, and these guys moving. Really pretty stable. I would say Samsung have an internal supply of materials, and it's a closed system. Outside of Samsung, the market is really two players: Nanoco, which is the only true at Nanoco and our partners, Dow and Merck, who can supply cadmium-free solutions. And then you have in the US Nanosis, who has a hybrid, or what they call cadmium light system, but they're working hard to try and develop their own cadmium systems. There's a small player in China, which is called Najing, which is purely cadmium-based. What we've seen in recent months with the legislation is that the European Commission has finally made a decision and given us a date when the exemption for cadmium will end, which is 31st of October 2019. And with that decision, we've seen a lot of the Chinese OEMs switching and moving their development efforts away from cadmium and into cadmium-free. So that's been very helpful. So lighting and healthcare, both businesses we're excited about. I mean, lighting, we've been very, very focused on niche applications, initially horticulture, and some photodynamic therapy applications. So on horticulture, our lighting solutions are proving to be very effective at enhanced plant yield in what I call factory growing conditions, so greenhouse growing under very controlled conditions. We're seeing, or we have a company in the US is launching a product designed at swelling reduction. And again, a niche lighting application, it's a patch that gets applied to a bruised area and it dramatically reduces swelling. Initially being launched with the US professional American football teams, who these guys get bruised. And life sciences, our healthcare group, is made great strides with the technology. And a big point over the years, we won a significant UK government grant, us and our partners, University College London, to develop that technology into a tool to detect pancreatic cancer at its early stages. So we're really pleased with the state of those businesses. Key things are further adoption from display industry, more announcements on contracts coming in. You'll be seeing announcements on some of the other businesses as we develop commercial contracts in lighting and some of the other space. So it really is a big year ahead for us.